The fifth of 6 men charged in last year's Perk Park shootings admits his guilt in court.
I just want to apologize to the victim's family. Just wishing if I could have stopped it. It would never went this far.
29-year-old Reginald Day sentenced to life in prison.
This court hereby sentences you to a period of 21 years to life.
This video contains an interview with a man who killed a woman because he couldn't direct his anger at his ex-girlfriend. 26-year-old Elisa Thompson was reported missing on November 29th when she didn't show up to pick up her child from school. Co-workers reported seeing a man approach Thompson as she sat in her vehicle during lunch break, and the two driving off together. The next evening, Thompson's body was found in the back of her vehicle, which was left abandoned in a parking lot after she had been strangled and stabbed to death. Investigators spoke with one of Gibson's ex-girlfriends who worked at the same call center as Thompson. The ex-girlfriend said that just 2 days beforehand, Gibson had abducted her at knife point as she arrived to pick up her child from daycare. She said Gibson drove her to his house and held her there for 3 hours against her will until a roommate came home. They were able to find Gibson at his apartment. While being held at gunpoint, Gibson reportedly told officers to shoot him and repeatedly reached for his pocket as if he was armed. He was ultimately tasered and taken into custody. Police said during his arrest, Gibson removed a folding knife from his pocket and threw it on the ground. The knife was locked open and appeared to have blood on it.
Reginald? Hey, how you doing? My name's Nick Roberts. This is Jason Newhouse. I think you already met him. How you doing? Do they not bring you any water? Where's it at?
No trash.
You want some more? No. If you want water, Coke, or something, to me now. You don't have your ID in your pocket, do you? You do? What's your first name?
You just said it.
It is Reginald, though. Where are you staying?
On the street.
Okay.
How long you been staying out on the street?
For a minute.
How long?
You got family here in town?
No.
No.
I'm from Georgia.
Whereabouts in Georgia?
Bainbridge.
Is your mom and them still in Bainbridge?
No.
How long you been in Tallahassee?
About 5 years.
Okay. Are you working anywhere?
I was working at Waterbury and Krispy Kreme.
That's what I heard. When did you stop working there? I know you didn't get fired. So why'd you stop working there?
My feelings.
Your feelings?
Yeah, I met the wrong bitch.
That happens.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Did you have kids with the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
How many kids you got?
One. Well,
Boy or girl?
boy.
Boy, how old?
3.
I've got a 1-year-old, a 5-year-old, an 8-year-old. 3's a good age.
You ain't got but the one baby?
With her?
Yeah. No, but all together?
No, I got 3.
3. Lord.
Boys and girls, or just... How old's your girl?
7.
That's the one that gets you.
She's a princess, I'm sure. How often do you get to see your kids? Having problems with these girls letting you see them? How long's it been since you've seen your girl?
I just seen her about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, God.
She in Georgia then?
That's a long time now.
Yeah, that's too late.
I can't imagine going a day without seeing my little girl. My boys too, but mainly my girl.
Yeah.
I just feel very protective of her. So, before you saw her 3 weeks ago, how long ago was it before you saw her?
Probably about 2 weeks.
You going too long? Is it they just don't want you to see them, or it's just hard to get up there?
They just don't want me to see them.
How come you don't get along with that mama? Something she did, or something you did, or what?
No. When you split up, that's how it should be.
Sometimes.
It can be. Was you gonna work anywhere else after Whataburger, or what? What was you gonna do?
What was I gonna do?
Or what you gonna do?
Mm,
How long were you at the Whataburger?
like 4 months.
Yeah. What about the Krispy Kreme? Is that the one right next to the Whataburger?
Yeah.
That seems like a good place to work.
Uh,
You like it? Had to get there early.
No.
Gibson gives lethargic responses, although the detectives begin with a positive approach. Although he is a murder suspect, he seems bored with the proceedings.
You work night shift there? How many? I know you got 3 kids. How many mothers are there? 3 or 2?
2.
2?
Well, it could be worse, yeah.
Yeah. It could always be worse.
And the oldest, how old?
7.
A little girl. That's the oldest. And then the baby 2, huh? You said 2?
3.
3. You got a long way to go before they're grown.
I know it's difficult when people are split up, but as far as the kids go, I'm just talking about the kids, 'cause I know you're hurting right now, but the kids, how are they doing, like emotionally and at school and daycare and whatnot? Are they having any issues because of y'all being separated?
They ain't old enough to explain yet, so.
Well,
They ain't acting out, though.
the seven-year-old is.
Are they acting out, though?
Well, the 7-year-old want me and her mom back together, but
Of course.
that ain't not happening.
You want to get back together with her mom?
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
What you been going through, man? You say you had problems with your baby mama here. And living on the street. Something been getting you. What been going on?
That's what I've been going through.
You been getting high? Or you just been fussing with women?
I don't smoke, I don't drink
At all?
at all.
Not even when things are hard?
I don't smoke, I don't drink.
That's good.
You been depressed, though? I mean, how old are you? How old are you, Reginald?
31.
Be 31 and, you know, being out on the street, that's got to be hell on you.
Is there somebody that you've been able to talk to, either a friend or pastor, family member, anything like that, about what you're going through?
Nah,
You got no church? You know, old uncle or nobody? You been keeping it all in? That ain't good for you, man.
Yeah. It's hard to hold stuff like that in. You know, especially when it involves your kids and things like that.
Where the last place you lived at here?
mm, 10th Avenue.
10th Avenue?
Is that your cousin that lives there or your uncle?
My cousin.
You couldn't talk with him about none of all this?
We distant from each other. He be in his room, I'll be in my room.
Why is it like that? Are y'all just not close, or?
We close. I just ain't never let it out.
Yeah.
Did it drive you wacky, man? Trying to keep all that in.
It's good to talk about things before they reach a boiling point. You know? Let it all out. Sometimes other people can look at the same situation that you're going through because they're not involved in it. They're a step away, so to speak. They can look at it from a different perspective. I know that when I was going through some things, you know, with my wife, you know, everything just seemed horrible. and like the end of the world. But I sat down and talked with somebody who was not in my situation, obviously, so he was able to look at it from the outside and kind of give me some guidance and tell me, what I needed to do. A lot of the changes I had to make were basically with me. But without being able to speak with somebody, I probably wouldn't have made it through.
You hold all that shit in.
You gotta learn to open up. It's hard to open up. You gotta learn how to do it, for real.
You hold it in and make you do things outside yourself, say things outside your normal self. You know what I mean?
And that's what I was doing. I wasn't acting like my normal self because I was holding it all in. So, and it just drives a wedge in like every relationship, not just between you and these women, but it'll drive a wedge between you and your kids, you and your friends. To a degree, it might even drove a wedge between you and your cousin that you lived with, just because you were holding all in and being closed off and not wanting to talk about it. I'm sure he sensed something was wrong. Maybe he just didn't know how to ask, how he could help or what he could do. Especially if you've always been that strong, silent type to begin with. People tend not to get in your business, because they feel like you can handle it. And the truth is, sometimes we can't handle it. Even as men, we can't handle it. We like to think we can.
The detectives are trying to make Gibson believe that he will feel better if he opens up to them, but they still haven't struck the right note that will induce him to speak.
But sometimes the worst one.
Yeah. And that's what makes it so bad, is because we keep telling ourselves that we can handle it, we can handle it, we can handle it. I can get through this. That it just keeps getting worse and worse and snowballing until there's no way we can get ourselves out of that situation. No way. And that's when things get bad. So. What are the names of the mothers of your children?
Erica Dawkins and Kiara Bernie.
Okay.
Bernie?
Yeah.
Which one were you with first?
Kiara.
Which one gives you the hardest time?
Terrica.
Is Terrica the one here?
Yeah.
I guess you and her got into it earlier in the week. So. Things just boil over. She gets upset, you get upset.
And you say you don't want to be back with her neither?
No, I did want her. I ain't want to be with Kiara.
Puts you in that situation where you kind of have to put up with them, be around them, just for the kids' sake. But it's hard. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't experienced this firsthand, but I've seen it. But a lot of times when a woman has custody of the children, they will use those kids as leverage to hurt you. Just like you're talking about. They'll keep you from seeing that kid just to hurt you. And make it difficult when you do see them. So that you can't enjoy that time together with your kids. And I see that happen quite a bit, unfortunately. Too often. So, not just at work, but I actually know some couples that are like that. So.
Should Derek do that to you?
Derek do a lot of shit, man.
How long y'all been broke up?
Couple months.
Oh, so it's pretty fresh then, huh? You was staying with her before?
Yeah.
Where was she at?
24/7 Rumblewood Court.
Then after that, that's when you went to 10th Avenue with your cousin?
No, I went to Lake Ave.
What'd you move out with your cousin for?
Got into it with her.
At the house?
No, I got into it with her. I guess at the house, yeah.
Your cousin ain't want y'all around no more?
My cousin went there.
No, he got into it with her and moved in with a cousin. Was she mad because y'all broke up?
No.
No. You tried to talk to her about it and get her back? How come she wasn't having none of it? I mean, what was so bad that you done?
She just want to be a hoe. She like fuck with different dudes.
You'll still take her back?
No.
I'm not faulting you if you wanted to.
No.
Honestly.
You can't help who you love.
You love her, and you got kids with her, right?
That's her only baby?
Yeah.
How old is she?
29.
Before I got married, I was in kind of a similar situation. We didn't have kids, so it was a little bit easier. But I mean, I hear what you're saying about a girl stepping out.
When the detectives are sympathetic to his situation with his exes, Gibson becomes slightly more talkative.
But you love her. She's the greatest thing ever. So you keep thinking that she won't do it again. She won't do it again. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes women screw up once and, you know, they fly straight from then on. Then you got them that are just, they can't be one man.
Habitual offenders?
Yes, habitual offenders. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Keep on.
And that's what I had, was a habitual offender. And I just couldn't see how bad it was at the time. But yeah, she was a habitual offender. So, and finally I wised up and realized it wasn't ever going to get no better. It was still hard. It was terrible. But not as hard as what you want to, because we didn't have a kid. But we were together a long time. Long time. Are you seeing anybody else since then? Can't even bring yourself to do it, can you? I know.
You ain't had nothing on the side yourself the whole time?
So you was being true to these?
Committed to her?
Like Miss Dawkins, you was being true to her?
That's one from my...
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That shouldn't dare. Kiera.
Kiera, my big mom in Georgia.
Right. You was good to her too?
Somewhat.
The best you could?
Yeah.
Well, you don't drink. You don't smoke. You've been true to two women that are giving you the hardest time over these kids. There's one that you've been willing to take back even if she's stepping out on you because you love her and you got a kid with her. You ain't lazy, you work two jobs. I'm assuming when you say you work two jobs, that's two different shifts. That you might be working at night, you might be working at day on the same day. So you're basically working around the clock, trying to make ends meet, trying to provide for your kids. Is that a pretty accurate picture? I mean, that's what I know. That's what you told me, and that's what I already knew. I didn't know about you not smoking and drinking. You told me that. And about not stepping out on these women. But I believe you when you say it, because you ain't got no reason to lie to me about it. Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know if that's you, that you must have had a tremendous amount of pressure on you. Tremendous amount of pressure for us to be here in this room.
Even a strong man can lose it. See it happen all the time. And that don't make you a bad guy. It don't make you a villain. You just broke. Happens to all of us. Just means you broke. Sometimes the world will break you, Reginald.
You willing to talk to us about it?
You won't. You want to let us know just how broke you got. You want to let us know from your heart and your words instead of letting what everybody else sees be the history of all this? Or do you want to tell us what I can see you broke sitting in front of me.
The detectives use a classic line. Don't you want to tell your side of the story? This is more effective than one may think, because people, in general, do want their stories to be heard and to have a chance to justify their actions.
Do you want to tell us what's on your heart and what's on your mind?
I can see that you're a good person, and I can see that you're ate up inside right now.
This wasn't who you are. It wasn't who you are, Reginald. Who you are is a man who tried the best he could, doing right by people, and ended up getting broken inside and put out on the street.
We both know what some people are telling us. This is their version of events. And we know that you've probably got a different take on some of it. May not make it any better. And we've been doing this for a minute, and even somebody that ain't a police, has got a lick of common sense, knows that the truth is always somewhere in the middle. I can't tell your story without talking to you and trying to find out why this happened.
You can't let the world paint the picture that they want to paint of you. Your words, what's in your mind, what's in your heart, needs to get out. You just got to know how low and how down and broken you felt. And sometimes when you snap, what's done is done, and it's too late to take it back.
But we also know there's extenuating circumstances. And I'm finding it hard to believe after talking to you that what's done was just done in cold blood. You know, I know that something might have happened. And then things might have got out of hand. And that something might have happened that you didn't mean for it to happen. But we've been working on this all day. And we've talked to some people. We've gathered some evidence. And that's why we're sitting here in this room with you. It's because we wanted to talk with you. Not necessarily because we need to, because we don't. But I felt like we owed it to everybody involved. Families, and even you. Just to offer that, to see if you wanted to talk to us. I mean, if there's anything that you can explain, if there's anything that might bring peace to you, peace to a family, then I think you ought to do it. But that's up to you. You don't have to carry it. I mean, you've been carrying all this, and this is where it's got you. And although I know this seems like it's like the end of the world, it's not. It's a horrible thing that's happened. Terrible thing that's happened. And yeah, you're going to carry it around with you forever. It's always going to be in your mind. You know, it's just like when you lose somebody you love, like a parent or something. How it always hurts, even years later. You think about it. It may not hurt as much years from now, but you always think about it. But you got to make the choice at some point. Am I going to let this eat away at me forever? Or am I going to grow from it and become a better person in whatever way I can and potentially help other people that might be going through the same thing? Can I help a family that's hurting?
Although Gibson still hasn't responded to their approach, the detectives remain patient. It takes longer to get through to certain people, and patience when using this technique is key.
Right now, can I tell my story? And then years from now, can I help somebody else that might be going through the same thing?
You can't change a single thing that doesn't happen, but you can make it better from now.
You can.
For yourself, and like you say, for people that are hurting.
And you can be that guy that mentors every young man that you come across from here on out that's going through the same issue. You can make that your name and your legacy. This is what happened to me, this is what I did, and this is how you cannot go down that same path. So who do you want to be? That guy that hangs on to it and carries it, or that guy that tries to make it right?
Can't make it right. Can't make it right.
You can't change what happened, Reginald. But sometimes, like they teach us our whole life, sometimes saying you're sorry and saying why.
My thing is,
Bringing peace is a start.
first of all, I just did 2.5 years in prison for a bitch ain't have no love for me. The whole time I was in prison, she fucking off. I get out. I decide not to do things I was doing to take care of her. I done took care of her too much. I took care of her the whole time she was out. She ain't had nothing. But as y'all know, I was selling a lot of drugs. I'm quite sure y'all know my charges and stuff by now.
You were doing that to support her.
Right. The day I got arrested, the money went for me. I went and did that for her, to put extra money in her pocket.
Brother, I worked over for 7
She
years,
didn't
man.
care
It's a job.
about
You're making money, that's all you're doing. You're trying to support people. I get that.
And she didn't care about none of that. She got to do this time and get out. I changed my whole life. She don't like that, because now I don't want to go to the club. I don't smoke, I don't drink.
And she liked that money that you were bringing in before, didn't she?
No, this time she was up. So she had a good job. It ain't about the money, it's about the fame.
Yeah.
When you go to the club, she go to the club every weekend.
Yeah.
So she like to be seen with the niggas in the booth. You know what I'm saying? And I was that nigga one time. You know what I'm saying? So when I get out and decide to change my life and not do that no more, she fucking out with the next niggas doing it. And I called her. I pulled up at the nigga house and she coming out the house. And that's when things went the wrong way.
Yeah.
And that was, she showed me that she really didn't give a fuck about me.
That Kira.
No, that's terrible.
Kira. When that happened?
I got out in March. July.
What you were doing was right. I'm sorry that she didn't support you. She should have. She should have been proud of you.
Yeah, but I ain't have nothing. I ain't have nothing. I ain't had no job. I ain't had nothing.
But you got a job. You started working.
I got 2 of them.
That still wasn't what she wanted, though, was it?
That ain't what she want. She want me to go to the club, be in the booth.
She wanted the bottles. She wanted to be in the booth.
She want to be seen.
That's wrong of her.
But love don't love nobody.
Yeah. I don't know why that is. Why so many women want that. And instead of somebody's going to be there for them, somebody's going to work hard for them.
Especially she older. You say she almost 30.
Right.
She ought to be grown out of that.
She been doing it since she was 18. So I don't see why she ain't grow up. And she had a baby. Now you got to give your mama our baby every weekend to go to the club or go out of town. So my son had a temperature of 104 degrees. She want to get her mama or my son to watch while she go out of town with some nigga.
No.
Like,
That don't sound right.
No. That's wrong. That's evil. That's wrong.
That just happened in July. That in.
no, this happened before July.
God damn.
You have plenty of signs of things coming.
To keep him talking, the detectives continue to be sympathetic toward Gibson about the way his girlfriend treated him.
What was going to happen?
But love,
It hurt you, huh?
I was too fucked up about him.
Broke your damn heart, didn't it?
I'm still too fucked up about him.
It led to, it just tore your life apart. The way it looked, it tore your life apart.
That's why I was praying y'all shot.
I wasn't there. We weren't there. We heard on the radio.
It sounded like you were ready to end it, huh?
That's what we were thinking. And I was scared. I was scared for the officers. I was scared for you, because that's what I was thinking.
Let it show you something, Reginald. That these girls have done you wrong, right? Treated you bad, stepped on your heart, tore your life apart. Don't give a damn about you, right? People still do. Them police down there did everything they could, and if you don't think they were scared, they did everything they could not to hurt you. You wanted to get shoot. You said you wanted them to shoot you, right? And they didn't. And that's because people care.
They shot him, man.
No, man.
No, don't say that. I'm telling you, things are bad. Okay? Things are bad. But you can make a change.
I promise you, when I get down, I say to myself, the sun gonna come up tomorrow. The sun gonna come up tomorrow. No matter how bad it get tonight, the sun gonna come up tomorrow. And that means your whole life gonna come up. You're going to have some real good days coming up.
Rich, we talk to people in this room all the time that are in the same circumstances that you are. Okay? We don't see you as a mean person. We don't see you as an evil human being. We realize that everybody has circumstances in their life that brings them to this room. Everybody does. You know, it's so easy for people on the outside who don't do this for a living, that aren't sitting in this room right now, you know, to say that you must have had evil in your heart. But because we've done this, we've sat across the table from so many people, we realize that's not the case. It's circumstances. It's all circumstances. It's the stressors that life places on you, the relationships we have with other people. Sometimes are bad. It causes things like this to happen. And everybody's got their own story to tell.
I told her time after time what she was doing to me. She didn't kill. Because she felt like she couldn't be touched. She's unstoppable. I told her time after time.
Who are you talking about, Reg?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Time after time. I told her. But being around niggas, she like to show out. She called me fuck niggas deadbeats. I'm a deadbeat. I just got a job. Two jobs.
Just say all that just to hurt you. Just to be nasty.
I know she had a hold of your heart, but she didn't deserve you. And that's the truth. And that's the truth. Reggie, we want to keep talking to you. Get you water if you need it. Get you Coca-Cola if you need it. You need any of that stuff? More water, Coca-Cola? Monster Energy drink? I'm gonna have somebody get you a water. All right.
We know you hurt, dude. We know.
Y'all saying y'all know, but I don't know.
We don't know how you feel at all. But we know you're hurt.
Don't nobody know, man.
Just why you got to tell us why you're hurt. And I think you're doing a good job of it. You gotta put what's in your heart on this. Because now you got everybody looking at you, saying this, that, and the other. I refuse to sit here after talking to you, meeting you, knowing what I knew, and believe that you're some kind of monster or a villain or anything like that. You got pushed to what happened. You're 31 years old. You ain't been out doing stuff like this your whole life, have you? And then now the last couple days hit. That ain't you. That ain't Reginald. That ain't Reginald. We got to know what made Reginald.
Now that Gibson is vulnerable, they will try to use that to lead him into a conversation about the crime he is supposed to have committed. As they do, they will remain as friendly as possible as long as it gets results.
Act that way. What pushed Reginald to act that way? And why?
Hydrate, seriously.
Did you mean for anything to happen? I believe you.
We knew that before we walked in here. If we didn't already know that, then wouldn't even bother to talk to you. There wouldn't be any need. This might be the hardest thing you've ever had to do in your entire life, but we want to talk to you about it. We need to talk to you about it. We owe it to the family, and we owe it to you. I know you're hurting, but also know that you're strong enough because you've been through a lot. If you're ready to talk to us, we're ready to listen. You think that's something you might want to do?
Where was out 3 days ago?
I don't know, but I wish we'd been.
God, I wish we'd have been there.
I don't know.
I see y'all got a call. Y'all knew shit was going down.
We didn't know how bad it was, Reginald.
No.
We didn't know. We didn't know how bad it was.
And that's the
We
thing.
didn't know how broken it was, man.
The officers show up and they talk to her and they get her side of the story, you know? We had no idea what's been going on all this time, not just with her, but with the girl up in Georgia and your 3 kids. You're a good dude. You turned it around when you came out. She couldn't respect that, but both of us do.
We can tell you've been panicking, man. You've been low as you can go.
Why these just a shoe, man?
Because
Reginald, you're a human being. We're all God's children. You're a human being. We gotta love you like a brother. Got to.
if they had shot you and killed you because that's what you wanted them to do, your story would have ended right there. The story that your family, that her family would have known, would have ended right there.
We ain't gonna let that happen. We ain't gonna let it, you sit there and look like a cold, plotting, evil person. We're not gonna do it.
That just would have been who you were when you died, you know? But by God's grace, they didn't shoot you.
Gibson continues to cry, saying he wishes he had been shot. This is not uncommon for people who feel pushed to the edge and out of options and do not know if there are any other resources available for help.
And I think you're happy they didn't. Or at least you feel some relief they didn't. Because nobody wants to die. You feel like you do still? Well, I'm going to try to change your mind on that. Because I'm telling you, if you do die tonight, that's how people will remember you.
No matter.
It's gonna matter.
Yeah, it does.
No, it wouldn't matter because I wouldn't have knew. I wouldn't have cared. I would have been dead, man. That shit crazy.
If it takes 10 years, if it takes the rest of your life, okay, you're not going to change what happened, but you can make atonement
Sure can.
And atonement is not years spent locked up. That's not what atonement means. You can make a change, and you can make a difference. You know, people always ask, well, if God exists, why did he let so-and-so die? Why did he let so-and-so get killed? Why did he let this earthquake come, this tornado, this hurricane, and kill all these people? And it's so hard for us to wrap our head around the fact that, God allows things to happen for a reason.
You're alive for a reason, Reginald. We ain't gonna waste it.
This whole thing happened for a reason, as horrible as that is. And as hard as it is to grasp, it all happened for a reason. Now, it's up to you what that reason's going to be. If it's going to be to atone for it and help other people, to bring peace now, to help people for years to come. How many other men go through what you go through with your women? How many young men got locked up and were thinking about, when I get out, I ain't going to sell no more. I ain't serving nothing else. I'm going to go straight. And they get back out there. And baby mama's demanding money. She wants to go to clubs. She wants the car. She wants the shoes. She wants the rent paid for. So what do they got to do? They got to go back to that life. How many young men can you help? If it's one, is that enough? Maybe. If you keep him from going down the same road. But over the rest of your life, how many people can you touch? You hear about it all the time. You hear about it all the time. People that have been charged with all kinds of crimes, and they spend the rest of their life trying to make it right and trying to help other people. Now, they know in their heart they can't necessarily change what happened, but they can make some good come from it. And being able to make some good come from something, that's a powerful thing. You're strong enough. I don't want to see you draw into yourself and just be depressed over this for years and years and years, and for it to wear you down until there's nothing left of you.
You're already depressed. You're already low as you can go.
I want to see you rise up.
Go up. That's it. It can only go up. You're still young enough. It can only go up.
I'd rather have you looking forward to the opportunity, to the challenge that you're going to face, to bring peace and to help others, as opposed to you just becoming depressed and just wearing yourself down so there's nothing left. Because if that happens, if you let that happen to yourself, that means no good at all is going to come out of this.
We got to do what's right. We got to do what's right by you, and by the people that are hurting real bad right now. Real bad.
The detectives continue to play on Gibson's emotions, implying he can ease his guilt by telling them what happened.
It's definitely the worst day of their life. And so they can crawl up off the floor and start looking up. Like you gonna start looking up. We got to do what's right. We got to know why everything happened the way it did.
Do what's right for that family. Do what's right for you. Do what's right for your children. So that years from now, instead of them looking down at you, they're looking up at you. Saying, yeah, this is what he did, but this is what he made of his life afterwards. This is how many people he's helped. This is how strong he was. Be that guy. Be that man. Be that dad. Be willing to fight through this depression. Be willing to make the best of it and to make the most of your life from here on out.
You gonna tell us why this happened, man?
We'll listen to you. We'll work through it. And we're going to take into account everything you say. If you tell us something that we need to go look at and investigate further, we're going to go do it. Now, tonight. Like I said, the truth is always somewhere in the middle. Right now, there's people that want peace, and there's things that you need to get off your chest. We will listen to you. If you tell us something needs to be done, so we need to look at something, we will go do it. Because we have to speak for everybody that's involved, you included. We don't make opinions. We work off of fact. So, I don't want to talk about this. I know it's going to be hard. Okay, you're here. You're in custody. You're under arrest. You know that. Okay. Nobody's going to try to pull the wool over your eyes. Nobody's going to try to trick you.
Who was in the Nissan Altima that called y'all today?
That I can tell you a little bit about. I'm more than willing to tell you what we know so far. Let you fill in the gaps. Let us tell us what you were feeling. Even tell us what she did. If there's anything that she or anybody else did to cause this. You know, if this was intentional, accidental, like I said, it's from talking to you, I don't see you as cold-blooded. I know there's just circumstances involved, you know. There's just circumstances involved and everything piling on top of you. And everybody on the legal side takes that into account. You know, especially if you're forthcoming, you can bring closure, you can bring peace. And if you can make some good come from this, people will notice. They will notice. Okay. I'm going to explain your Fifth Amendment rights to you. Okay, Reggie? You have the right to remain silent. You don't have to talk to us. Okay? Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. And you have the right to talk to the lawyer and have them present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, we'll be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. And you can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions or make any statements. So, if you get to a point where while you're talking to us that you just don't want to talk to us anymore, or you're tired of talking to us, just tell us. Like I said, we don't have to be here at this point. We don't really need to be here at this point, but we want to be. We want to be. For the family and for you. So if we can all do our jobs, bring some peace, bring some closure, then that's what we like to do. And when I say us do all of our jobs, I mean all three of us here in this room, because right now we're kind of headed together. So, do you understand everything I've explained to you? Okay. At any point tonight, while all that was going on out there, while the police were coming at you and everything was going on, did you ask anybody for a lawyer?
A lawyer?
Yeah. Okay. Did they have Did an ambulance come out there? Okay. Are you injured in any way? All right. Do you want to talk to us about everything that's been happening over the last day or so? Because right now, we got a family that wants to have some questions answered. And it's time for you to tell your story.
Know what they want to know?
Their efforts appear to have paid off. Gibson's response shows he is at least willing to answer some questions.
We want to know from the beginning, from lunchtime at her work, in the parking lot, till now, everything, including exactly how you felt the whole
You
time.
know who else worked there?
Hmm?
You know who else worked there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. I talked to her today. You're talking about Miss Dawkins. I talked to her today. Another investigator had already been dealing with her over the thing that happened at the daycare. To be honest with you, I didn't know anything about what had happened at the daycare until she made herself known to me out there at that call center. So I think I got to hear it from a different perspective, I think, because I didn't know anything about what happened before. Some of the things that you've said, I guess, about her personality, I can kind of see.
You seen her at the call center?
Yeah.
Today?
Yeah. So, but, I mean, there's a lot of information that's out there, you know, including that video that's on Facebook. Have you seen that? Yeah. I knew that you had. I was worried. Really worried that you might do something to yourself after you saw that video.
I had nothing to do it with.
You thought about it?
I'm glad you didn't. I'm really glad you didn't. Because it would not have made things any better.
We already would know what we know.
Yeah.
We would just be going off everything out. We wouldn't know none of the backstory you just told us. None of it.
And that's important.
Richmond, do you want to talk to us about what happened at the call center? You want to put your side out there?
How do you know Elisa? You call her Lisa or Elisa? Elisa? How long have you been knowing Elisa?
I don't know.
Is that like a month or 2 months? Did you meet her through Miss Dawkins or?
Oh, she ain't no one know one.
Yeah. When you went out there to the call center yesterday at lunch, there were people in the parking lot that saw you there. You know, the forensics people got the Newport cigarettes that you tossed out on the ground. I know that's your brand.
What?
They said they saw you smoking some cigarettes out there.
You wasn't smoking while you was out there?
I smoke
You don't?
You smoke one?
I smoke so much.
Yeah. Don't remember.
They saw you walk up and stand at her window. What were y'all talking about?
I asked her to take me home.
How'd you get out there?
The detectives inform Gibson that they know he was at the location. Gibson makes a half-hearted attempt to avoid confirming the evidence.
You walked all the way out to that place on Mayhem? Where'd you walk from?
Bus stop.
Which one?
Walmart.
Damn, that's a long walk.
I know.
If somebody drove you, it's okay. They're not in trouble. But you really did walk from the bus stop?
Yeah.
How long did it take you? You remember?
About an hour and a half.
Yeah. Did you stop at that store or anywhere else along the way?
No.
What was you going there for?
Terrible.
Just talk to her.
Yeah.
What changed your mind about talking to Terica when you got there?
Terrible window.
She just wasn't there that day? How did you find out she wasn't there?
Car window.
Yeah.
And I seen her in the projects.
Down in the bricks? Yeah.
With the same one of these niggas like me. Yeah.
You saw her down in the projects later on that day? Yeah.
Got the license. You asked her to give you a ride home. What'd she say?
Who?
Listen.
Listen, sorry, I'd say it wrong.
When you asked for a ride, what did she say? I know you's worked up about Miss Dawkins. It's okay.
You keep saying it's okay. This shit ain't okay, man.
We know it ain't okay, but it's... We know you were down. We know you was probably pissed off when you get there. Dawkins' car ain't there.
Did you want to go home or did you want to go and find her down the bricks?
I wanted to find her.
Yeah.
What happened?
First of all, y'all, when I got out, I had 2 years of probation.
Mm-hmm.
And in the violation of that probation, I was looking at 15, 20 years.
Yeah. You didn't violate though. Did you violate?
She told me y'all said y'all was charging me.
Are you still on paper?
She said y'all was gonna charge me
That's what she told you?
with kidnapping, something about a child.
Talking about from what happened earlier in the week.
She called you up and rubbed that in your face?
She told me that.
See, you ain't give a shit no more then.
Right.
You ain't give a shit no more. You wasn't even thinking no more.
I lost it. And she just jailed by something I ain't.
So you thought you was going for 15 years. Behind that, and we'll get to that later on because I sound like I need to know more about that. So when you walk up to her car, Elisa, what we calling her? Elisa. When you walk up to Elisa's car, you was wanting to go find Dawkins. Miss Dawkins. Wasn't thinking straight. This is a hard part, Reginald.
Whether they believe it or not, they allow Gibson to present the situation as if things only got out of hand rather than it being a deliberate action. Right now, that is enough. Getting him to admit he did it at all is the main goal.
This is a hard part right now. What happened when you asked for a ride?
I know she was eating her lunch. She eats her lunch out there every day. She couldn't leave because she only had a 30-minute lunch break. Is that what she told you?
So I never had charges on me. So I ain't got no charges on me before this.
No, she put charges on you. She did. Like I said, I didn't know anything about that until today when I talked to her. And I think a lot of that might have to do with the fact that I don't know the circumstances. I do not know the circumstances. For whatever reason, you didn't get to tell your side of the story to the investigator. I don't know if that's because you chose not to or because he couldn't find you.
Yeah, investigator.
Yeah. There was another investigator that was working that case. So I don't, like I said, I don't know if he couldn't find you or if he tried and you didn't want to talk to him. But you didn't get to tell your side of the story. So yeah, she put warrants out on you. And then I think she called you up to stoke you up, to rub it in your face. I know that made you angry because you said it did. Set you off. They said in the parking lot they saw you slide into the driver's seat. And Elisa slid across to the passenger seat. And y'all left. She didn't want to leave because she couldn't leave. What did she say?
I don't know exact words.
That she couldn't leave. They're tied on there. They got to clock out of their computer and they got to clock out of the door. And I think that's why everybody just hangs out in the parking lot and why they have a food truck that comes there. You see the food truck because they don't want them leaving because they got to get back to the call center. They've got exactly 30 minutes.
How'd you get her to leave?
Were you so dead set on finding Rico that you scared Elisa into leaving with you?
Gibson is becoming slightly more hesitant to answer. He's being forced to confront his actions, and this has the possibility to make him shut down.
Because that's all you was thinking about was Rico, trying to find her.
Terrible.
Terrible.
I guess I scared her shit.
What could you have done that would have scared her?
I just told her I didn't want to hurt him.
Did you have a weapon or anything?
I didn't need no weapon.
You just told her that. Did she scoot over?
I said I didn't want to hurt him. All I wanted was a ride home.
Why didn't she get out the car?
Why didn't she get out? I told her not to get out. I told her not to get out.
Yeah.
I didn't want the police called on me right then.
Because you had to go find that girl? Yeah.
Where y'all went when you left?
Around.
Around where? Look over my talking. Where'd you go first, look?
To the bricks.
You seen her car there? What was Elisa doing the whole time? Was she fighting you?
No, she won't find me.
What was she doing? Did she make it to the bricks? No. What happened?
I had no fuck to listen like 2 or 3 times. Not that day. But prior.
Mm-hmm.
How did she feel about you?
I guess she trusted me enough to know I won't hurt her.
You think that she probably
She
knew
was
that?
also scared of me.
She was scared of you?
Was she scared of you always, or just that day?
That day.
You tried to have sex with her again that day?
I did have sex with her.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Where, in the car?
I know about what time you got to the bricks. I mean, y'all pretty much went straight there. If I'm calculating right. I know what time her cell phone got there.
You do?
Yeah. I think I do anyway. Did y'all go straight there? Or am I wrong?
We didn't go straight up.
Where did y'all go, like, right off the bat when you left for work?
We went to my house.
Was that where y'all had sex?
Yeah.
Gibson admits that his girlfriend was afraid of him at that point, although she had never feared him in the past.
Your house was on 10th Avenue? What went wrong?
She was trying to go back to work. And I knew if she went back to work, she was going to call y'all.
You already thought you was going to do 15 years for the other thing. So what'd you do to her?
There's blood on the pillow. So there's blood on the pillow.
What pillow?
They found blood on the pillow.
At my house. So why you asking me these questions?
Because I didn't know.
To get your side, man, like we've been telling you.
That blood on that pillow ain't hers.
Okay. And that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking. I know you felt like everything was coming down on you, and you couldn't let her leave.
That's
And I know you said she was scared when y'all left for work.
this thing.
Mm-hmm.
This thing.
Yeah.
I go to see my son.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Terry had me arguing anyway.
Yeah.
And I said what I do to her, whatever. Now, when I come out, I walk up. She got a knife. But she tell people I had a knife.
You come out at the daycare.
At the daycare. She had a knife, but me not being scared of her. I tried to take from her. She grabbed a knife. But with the top on, she already got it at the bottom of her hand and grabbed the top to keep me from. That's how it bent.
Mm-hmm.
And she cut herself.
And you're right, it did bend.
Right, I know.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of knife was it?
It was a kitchen knife.
Okay.
But the knife bent. And she cut herself. So to keep me out of that shit, I tell her to tell them folks what happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I tried to take her to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I told her I'd go to the hospital with her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
If I want to go to jail, I just go to jail behind my son hitting his head while we wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. She tell me I pushed him. Like, I pushed him, and we, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get him out from you. But anyway, she tell me she gonna do that or whatever. But she say she didn't want to go to the hospital because she didn't want to talk to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, you know, she told me just call her. I told her, no, man, we just gonna go to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? She started saying she ain't going to the hospital, so she left. When she left, I guess that next morning, she came and they talked to y'all.
Not yet, sir. Yeah.
And then I asked her what was said. And she said they had everything on camera with me at the door and all that, of her car and all that. So I'm like, they ain't even got no cameras at the daycare.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Mm-hmm.
I said,
I don't
they ain't
even know
got
that's
no,
true.
Yeah, I'm like, they ain't even got no cameras at daycare.
Yeah.
Well, she's saying the woman said they had cameras. But really, what it was she basically was gonna press charges on me. That's what she was saying to me, but telling the lies and saying, because y'all said she pressed charges on me.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't. She told me that the woman said she called the police, which she probably did about the knife being out there. They said they found the knife.
I think she did, yeah.
She might have.
Okay. But when she went up there and said that I had the knife, I lost it. Like,
What day did she tell you that? What day it happened at the daycare? Monday? Tuesday?
I ain't Monday.
You think? What day she called and tell you?
I think she went and talked to them Tuesday morning.
I got my days mixed up.
That's
That's probably
Friday
about
night.
right. Monday and then Tuesday.
Gibson's motivation mainly stemmed from the fear that Thompson was going to call the police, which would have violated his parole.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I called her, asking her what's going on. So she told me that they was talking to her about the charges and stuff, and said if she didn't want to press charges, that the state would pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what you told them? And she said, I told them what happened, but what did you tell them? She said, I told them you had. I said, why did you tell them I had a knife? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how much she don't care. You know what I'm saying? And knowing I'm on probation if I get violated, especially behind something like that. My charge carried 65 years altogether, the charges I had.
Sometimes they hold kids over your head. Sometimes they hold that paper over your head.
Sure will.
Right. So she knew that.
And still did it.
And she still did it. She felt like I hurt her. Knowing even all the shit I talked to her, I would have never hurt her.
You never put hands on her before, nothing?
No.
I don't believe you.
So
and we know that had to eat you up. You already said that you was just out of your mind about it.
no, the day she snatched that knife,
Yeah.
the day she had that knife, I did put my hands on her that day.
Because she pulled the knife.
Yeah, I was mad. Like, you snatched first you got a knife, and then you snatched the knife.
And your son's there.
And my son there, and you don't cut your finger deep, and you got to go to the hospital, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
When you say you put your hands on her, you pushed her away, or you punched her, or you
no, I slapped her.
slapped her?
But
Did she
the
quit?
circumstances, that's understandable.
Yeah. Did she quit fighting after that?
oh, I ain't slapped over there.
Oh, it was later on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, when I just slid her over to the next seat. And yet again, she had like she don't care about nothing going on. And I lost it. So I told her she was gonna get me out this time behind something she caused. Then I was gonna hurt her too.
Well, Elisa ain't the one you was after.
Hell no.
How did she wind up getting hurt then? Answer me this, because somebody's going to ask the question and I'm going to have to tell them. When y'all went back to the house on 10th Ave, was the sex consensual?
Yeah.
She wanted to have sex.
Me and her, like,
It wasn't against her will.
no.
Okay.
While it cannot be verified, it seems unlikely that Thompson was willing. Most likely she tried to appease him in an attempt to get out of the situation alive.
Y'all have had sex before, right?
Right. But the thing is, she, like, after we had sex, she was saying she had to get back to her job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I mean, that would be like you having to get back to your job, too.
right.
She don't want to get fired because they are tight on over there.
Right.
But I know you said you didn't want her to leave because you were worried about her
Scared.
calling the police.
Right.
And you still had to find Miss Dawkins.
How'd you stop her from leaving?
Y'all got him?
Hmm? That's one of the things we need to ask you about. The family's going to need closure on that, buddy.
What's one of the things?
Can you tell me where Miss Thompson is? Listen. We can come back to the other, but can you tell me where you put her? It would be helpful.
Y'all found him.
Is there some place it would? Where'd you put her at?
Nowhere. I ain't put her nowhere.
Did somebody else put her somewhere?
What I'm charged with?
Right now, for sure, the charges that Miss Dawkins put on you. I told you when we walked in here I wasn't going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you because you've been straight up so far. You're having a hard time talking about some things. I understand that. I do. Right now, I mean, we have a lot of evidence that we've already talked to you about and some more.
Evidence on what?
Evidence that you took Miss Thompson from her place of work. We know that you had her car. I mean, obviously, you've seen the video that we've seen that somebody posted on Facebook.
That was her car?
The vehicle that she was in when you went to and got her to work,
Yeah.
that you drove away in, that was her vehicle. And you're on video in that same vehicle, tossing her cell phone over the fence. We have that cell phone. That same cell phone that you used to call Miss Dawkins on when you were trying to find her, when you were talking to her. So there's enough evidence to charge you in the crimes related to Miss Thompson too.
What crimes related to her?
Murder. And we're just trying to find out exactly what led to that. And you said something just a second ago. You said you didn't leave her anywhere.
I ain't lived nowhere.
Where was the last place you saw her at? I'll skip ahead. After she passed, where was the last place that you saw her?
Gibson is taking longer to respond to these questions, as if he cannot fully confront what he did. So far, he hasn't denied murdering Thompson, but it is looking like he won't make a detailed confession.
I know you don't want to get off the chest because you made some kind of statement to somebody, probably not long before the police came out there. And that person called us, and that person's been interviewed. So you were trying to get it off your chest with them. I don't know if you know that person or not, because I haven't talked to him. There's other investigators that are doing that. But I know what they said when they called in. You know. And if I heard the 911 tapes correctly, this person that called in said something to the effect of, he told me that he thinks he killed her. What does that mean? Because you either know what happened. You either know if she's
Somebody
passed.
called you and said that?
Yeah, is that true? Have you talked to anybody about this? Even some random stranger that you saw, maybe when you was out there by the pool?
I ain't talking to no strangers.
Anybody you know?
And I don't know how this person could be related to you. I don't know if they're a stranger or if it's somebody you know.
Dude or woman?
I think it's a dude, but don't quote me on that.
A dude?
I think. But there was a girl that called too, so.
There was a girl called?
I think there was a girl that called. I don't know what she called about. There's investigators that are talking to her as well. And those two things have come about at about the same time he was arrested. That's kind of what led police over there to where you were. So I think you might have told somebody because you're trying to get it off your chest. And I think you went back to Miss Thompson's apartment complex. You knew where she lived. You'd been over there before, I guess. Just, I don't know why. Because you wanted to be found? Maybe? Do you know why you went over there? Just to be close to her place?
It sure don't seem like you meant this to happen.
No.
You said she couldn't go back to work because of what Miss Dawkins did. You already thought she was going to prison for 15 years. You already said she didn't make it to the bricks after you left your house. You gotta know what happened, what blew it up like that. What happened to her.
Can you tell me where you left her vehicle at?
I'll be answering questions y'all already know. That's crazy.
But that's the part. That's the part. That's the important part. That's the part where we know you're telling us the truth. All this other stuff you told us, we didn't know. We gotta know it's true. By answering things we already know, that's how it is.
I won't lie to you, you're right. I already know the answers to those questions. The reason I'm asking is just so that later on people will have something to judge your truthfulness against. If something's fact, the evidence shows it, and you confirm it, and it shows you're being truthful. It's a good gauge, a barometer to judge somebody on.
When we go in there and the judges and juries and lawyers all look at everything, they'll say, oh, well, Reginald told the truth. Now, of course you tell the truth if we tell you every single thing we know.
Let me met him in court.
And you answer it.
I've been through all that.
It might matter for the family.
It's a different set of circumstances. This is not the drug case.
It sure ain't a drug case.
The drug case don't matter either.
The detectives try to nudge Gibson back on track. He has started to ask more questions than he is answering, which only slows the investigation and carries the potential of compromising his answers if they give him too much information.
Drug case, burglary case I had, none of that didn't matter. You tell them what you want to tell them, man. You go to court and get sentenced.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, bro. I didn't even look at your criminal history. I didn't.
Yeah, I got no idea. I didn't know you'd been to prison till we got in here. You told me.
That's why I didn't know you were still on paper. So I can see how she's holding that over your head.
I think you can agree.
I bet you $100,000 y'all knew that.
No.
Cause that's the first thing y'all gonna do when they tell y'all what, y'all gonna pull it up.
Well, I'll guarantee you that somebody up here did, but I've been so busy working on this thing all day long that I haven't got down in the weeds.
That's why all these questions that you asked me, you already know the answer to.
Not all of them.
No. Some of them. Some of them.
We do know where she was found at. I was asking you to see how truthful you're going to be, and you said something that scared me just a little bit. You said, and I quote, I didn't leave her anywhere. And that's why I was kind of asking you to explain it, because that means one of two things. That does it mean that somebody else left her somewhere? Or is it a figure of speech that I didn't leave her there?
First of all, the dude who called y'all knew a lot, right?
Yeah, but I'm not talking to him, so I don't know exactly what he said. I don't know how detailed.
You just said he told you.
That was the quote
Right.
that I got from the 911.
And he also told y'all that I ran over here.
Ran over here where?
To where y'all picked me up from.
Oh.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
You said that.
Yeah. I think he said that you were in that area, and that's why they went over there.
So how would he know that?
I don't know. That's why I asked. I don't know if it's somebody that you just talked to out there around the pool or what. I don't
I
know.
don't just talk to people about shit like that.
I wouldn't think that you would. That's why I asked.
Well, tell us, Reginald. If we ain't picking up on it, you got to tell us.
I don't get it. I the motherfucker woman. That's crazy, bro.
Was this your cousin, you think,
What? That took me over there?
that called? I still don't know who it is that they met with.
That the dude that took me to that spot,
Yeah.
he's the only dude that could have called y'all. Cause it's only one dude I had a conversation with.
I'd have to step out of the room to find out who he was, and I don't want to step out of the room and leave you right now. Who was that you talked to? I guess it was so big he couldn't hold it. I don't know. Was it somebody you've been knowing for a while?
I ain't gonna hold it against him. I ain't gonna say nothing.
No,
I
don't.
ain't gonna say nothing.
Don't hold it against him.
It's alright.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
I fucked up.
We're trying to get to a real important part of this, though. Reginald, I've asked you a few times, and I know it's the hardest part to talk about. But it's about what your intention was. What you meant to do, what you ain't mean to do. And the bad part
I
is...
wanted to get to Terrical.
I know
That's what I
that.
wanted to do. That's what my intention was.
Well, I know that. But then when Elisa was trying to leave the house on 10th Avenue, what your intentions with her were. That's the important part.
My intention was to let her leave.
But what happened?
My intentions to get to Terrical was more.
More important. You needed a car? Well, she wouldn't let you have it.
Did I need her car?
Yeah.
No, I ain't need her car.
Okay. Well, you took it down to the bricks and you say she ain't make it. So what happened?
How come Miss Thompson didn't make it down to the bricks?
I know you was pissed at Terica.
Pissed ain't even a word.
Raging. Couldn't even think straight, probably. Didn't care no more.
I didn't care no more. I didn't care no more.
So what happened to Elisa?
Who's in that Nissan Altima called y'all?
I have no idea about that.
I don't know.
I know that either a guy or girl called.
You told me you was gonna get back to me on that because you know who called. You just told me you was gonna get back to me on that.
I honestly don't know who called.
We ain't left to look
My
at that
name.
yet.
I promise you that. There's another investigator that's outside this door somewhere that knows exactly who called. I know that there was a male. I'm about 97% sure the other caller was a female. The second one, I just read the notes. I didn't listen to the call.
The mail called about me being in the apartments.
I think so. Yes.
I know that was the mail.
What you talking about, the Nissan Altima?
The Nissan Altima.
They
That called, yeah.
and said you were down at them apartments?
No. The Nissan Altima that was on Monroe Street.
What happened with the Nissan Altima?
Yeah, you gotta explain. We
You
done
gotta
had a lot of
explain.
calls today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got somebody that got a police dispatcher. Say somebody called in. On the dispatcher said they was looking for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that happened a lot today.
Yeah.
And I said they was looking for me.
Yeah.
No, on to my since the Altima, only one person in the Nissan Altima called.
I don't know
Who you think it was?
about the Nissan Altima.
Well, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was Terica Mama.
Oh, Terica Mama.
Did you see her at some point this evening on like Monroe Street in a Nissan, and she was driving a Nissan Altima? Because I think earlier you brought up a female in a Nissan Altima. It could have been.
Female. That's what kind of call Mama drive.
Did you talk to her
Which is
tonight?
her
mom?
I ain't talked to her.
Okay. Okay.
It probably was.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, we done got phone calls all day saying people seen your places and all that.
I almost kind of want to think that the call I'm talking about was not her mama, to be honest with you. I don't think so.
I don't remember that.
The car you talking about?
I think you're the one that mentioned Nissan Altima.
I did.
Yeah. And I was just agreeing with you. I don't really know.
You saying you almost thinking that it's not her mama?
I'm almost thinking because
The one he's thinking about.
her
We got so
mama
many
would be,
daggum calls
would be
today.
older. I think the female that we're talking about is a little bit younger, but
Right, but you say
I could be wrong.
you said Terica was at work today.
She was at work today.
Right.
Yep, she was at work today because I talked to her at work. I don't know what kind of car she drives. I'm sorry.
Terica drive a Camry.
Yeah, I have no
Her
idea.
mama drive an Altima.
Yeah, I never talked to her mama. I just talked to her when she was at work. That's it.
But the thing is, Terica don't get off work at 5. So she must have left after y'all investigated her.
Maybe.
That explains.
Gibson goes right back to avoiding answers by asking more questions. In the end, knowing who called the police will do him no good. It does not change his situation and only prolongs the interview.
Well,
Have you talked to her today,
who?
Tara?
No. She told her I talked to her?
I don't think so.
Not today. No.
Yesterday, maybe?
I talked to her yesterday.
Yeah. She said that.
Me, I'll talk about it yesterday.
Her being in the bricks.
Yep. You called her from a guy's phone at one point yesterday.
Damn.
Yeah.
Y'all trash, huh?
Yeah.
Y'all talk to him too?
Well, I wanted to ask you about him, and that's cool. Have they?
I think
I
they
know
were
he's
going to
back.
talk
He's
to him.
back here.
Yeah.
He's back.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
here.
they were talking to him. Or going to talk
Yeah.
to him.
He was in the back?
No. He came back to
Came
Tallahassee.
back?
Yeah. He had left town, I think, just for the day or whatever, and drove west of here. Not going to tell you exactly where, because that's his business. And he came back this evening.
How you know him?
I don't.
You just asked to use his phone?
Mm-hmm.
Where were we at when he used his phone? Do you know his name?
Nope.
What's he look like?
Mm-hmm. I live in bricks. I don't know what he look like.
White guy?
No.
Black guy?
Yeah.
Huh.
Was he driving? You driving something?
No, he was walking. Hold on, man. What y'all talking about? What?
Oh, hang on. I've been up working another case since like 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning. So,
What did she say happened when I called her?
well, you sent some text messages about the bricks, right?
Right.
Okay, I saw those. I ain't worried about those. So that's exactly what you already told me. I mean, that's where she goes. But I guess yesterday evening or at nighttime, you called her from a number. And I can't remember if y'all talked or you didn't talk. But you called her from a phone that wasn't yours a time or two. And the phone belongs to the white guy.
That's the phone you talking about?
Yeah.
The one that's text off of?
Yeah, I think so. The white guy's phone.
That belonged to a white guy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How do you know him?
I didn't know him from a minute ago. I don't know how I know him.
How you seen him yesterday?
Yeah.
How I seen him?
Yeah.
He was somewhere I was at.
Where was that?
Y'all already know all these questions. Because
Oh,
first of all, he just said he pulled up a phone that showed all the locations of where I was at. So when y'all pulled up that phone, y'all
Yeah, but I don't know where
automatically
he was
locations.
at. You know what I mean?
Well, when
They give
I'm
a-
quite sure you pulled the locations up.
They give a little range, but
Yeah.
you give a little range, we don't know exactly where it was.
Wow.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the answer to the question I'm asking.
But you want me to be true, and you can't be true.
Well, I can't be truthful because I don't know.
You know the answer to the
No, I
question.
promise you I don't. Promise you I don't. And that's why I was asking. And whatever you tell me, I mean, I'm literally going to have to go clarify and confirm with other investigators that are talking to this guy, Clay.
That's his name?
Casey.
Casey.
Sorry, Casey, Clay, whatever.
That sounds about right there.
Yeah.
That's about all I
Casey,
know. I
Clay,
don't know his
I don't
last
know.
name. I don't know nothing else.
Yeah. Can you tell me where you were at with Casey when you borrowed his phone?
This dude told y'all, I told him I think I killed somebody. That's crazy. I ain't told nobody that shit.
Casey did?
You think Casey told us that?
Casey ain't tell y'all
Okay.
that. The dude that dropped me off told y'all that. After we watched the video.
The detectives point out the oddity of Gibson saying he thinks he killed someone. The way Thompson was killed could have left no doubt in his mind that she was dead.
Told y'all that.
And that's why it didn't make any sense to me. Because, I mean, you know what happened, so I don't... That's why I was asking, why would you make a statement, I think I killed somebody?
I ain't gonna tell him that.
You know,
I think I killed somebody.
If the way it had been relayed to us was that you supposedly said, you know, something went wrong and accidentally killed her, or anything other than I think I killed somebody, then I wouldn't have questioned that as much. You know, so that's why I was asking you to clarify. But right now, all you said is that, you know, you were raging, which I know you were, because you told us everything about how this girl's been acting. And that you needed Miss Thompson to take you there. You got back to your house with Miss Thompson, y'all had sex, but you said that Miss Thompson did not make it to the Derricks, but you still had her car. So, I mean, based on what you're saying, I mean, that's leading us to believe that she never made it out of your house. Because you said you couldn't let her leave. You were scared to let her leave because you had to find Miss Dawkins. Miss Thompson might have called the police before you could do that. Did you just snap on her? We gotta know, the family's gotta know. This is what we were talking about before, about making something good out of something horrible, something terrible, and rising up from it, no matter how hard it is and how long it takes. And having your legacy not being this, but being what you become from here. It's hard to say because that ain't you. You know what I mean? You're in a rage over everything this girl's done to you all this time. This ain't you. Did Elisa get angry because you wouldn't let her leave? Did she try to leave and you tried to stop her?
She got kids, Reginald. We got to know, man.
I know she got two.
Yeah. We got to know. Got to know about the last few minutes.
Gibson falls silent when directly asked about Thompson.
y'all want me to say?
I just want you to say what happened and what was going through your mind. And honestly, what was going through your mind.
If you was even thinking. I know it's hard, man.
Your family's going to ask. They're going to ask if she suffered.
If she suffered?
Yeah. And I'm going to have to tell them something. I can't lie to them just like I can't lie to you.
But you can't lie to me, though. That's your job.
I haven't yet. There are things I can't tell you.
Well,
If there's something I can't tell you, I'll tell you that I can't tell you. If there's something I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. I don't know who the female was. I don't know if there was a female in the Altima. I don't know the name of the male yet. Somebody else is talking to him.
I know his name.
None of that really matters, to be honest with you. It's like you said, just forgive him. Maybe he thought he was doing right, or maybe he had malice in his heart. I don't know. But what really matters is what happened to Miss Thompson. What you were going through. What happened to her. Her family matters. Your kids matter. And you matter.
But when you drive around with somebody taking from place to place, when you claim he told you he murdered somebody, what the hell that make you?
If you didn't say that to him, then I guess it would make him a liar. And I'd have to question why he would say that.
No.
You know?
When you tell a person you murdered somebody, and you take him from place to place, what in the hell that make him?
Did you tell him that you murdered somebody?
No, but if you do tell somebody that and they do that, what do that make him? Why would he tell you I told him that I murdered somebody and you take him from place to place? Like, why would you tell you that?
You know, I mean, it depends on the circumstances. I mean, if you're saying this person's an accomplice, I don't know where all y'all went to place because you haven't told me. And if he has some type of involvement in this, maybe he hadn't told those investigators because he's trying to hide that. I don't know. So that's why we were asking who he is, how he was involved.
He ain't involved in shit.
He's not involved?
My thing is, I just ask when you, if both people tell you some shit and you take them place to place, what do that make you? If you know you want to run, and he tell you, if somebody tell me they murdered somebody, I'm not gonna take them place to place.
You wouldn't.
Because I know they're gonna give me a charge.
Yeah. You wouldn't be harboring somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that'll give me a charge.
The detectives attempt to see if Gibson will name an accomplice, but Gibson says he didn't discuss the murder at all.
So the dude that dropped me off, that claim I told I murdered somebody, I don't get why he would call y'all. That's crazy.
Listen, if you didn't say that to him, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Because
Y'all also say a girl called and told y'all the same shit.
gave us some information, yeah. And I can't tell you exactly what that is yet. I'll be
And I
able to.
haven't talked to no female, period. For them to be calling and say I told them.
It may be one of the situations where somebody told somebody that told somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it happen all the time.
But neither that girl or that guy that we're talking about, neither one of them matter. Because
It must have been some type of reward out.
to my knowledge, no. I mean, everything's happened too quick.
Yeah, that normally takes a little time
But
to
again,
get a reward.
I honestly, whatever they're saying right now, in the grand scheme of things, it does not matter. Because even if those two people did not exist, you would still be sitting in this room. Maybe they wouldn't have found you at that apartment complex at that moment, but they were still looking for you. And eventually
And you said the girl stayed out though. Lies.
Did they get you at an apartment complex over on Magnolia,
Right.
where Miss Thompson lived?
You said she stayed out though.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long she been staying out though?
I don't know.
I don't think she does
But
live
I
out
can
there.
promise
She
you
was
that
dead
she lives out
today.
there.
You ain't know she lived out there?
You honestly didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You
What
just
made
had
you
to
go
go
there
there.
though? Because there's, well, I was about to say 10,000 apartment complexes in Tallahassee. There's not that many, but
There's a lot.
There's a lot. Why did you go? Does somebody else live out there?
Mm-mm.
Why did you go out there? Because if you say you didn't know that she lived out there, I'll believe you. But it's a big coincidence. You know what I mean? She lives at 925 East Magnolia. I don't know what the name of the apartment complex
It's
is.
Talavilla.
Is it Talavilla? Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, I went there today. I know she lived there. Sure does.
Did you go there because it's close to the bricks?
Mm-mm.
Why did you go there then? I just assumed that you knew where she lived. So I just assumed that you knew where you lived. Because we've been told, I guess, that y'all did have some involvement in the past, and you said the same thing, that y'all been together before. So I just assumed that maybe it had been at her
Who
house.
told you that? Ain't nobody tell y'all that shit.
Yes.
Nobody know that.
Gibson remains silent when asked a question until he can't resist denying that he never told anyone what he had done. He can talk about everything before the murder, but the act itself and the aftermath are something he is clearly uncomfortable discussing.
Oh, nobody know that.
I think it's somebody that she told, not somebody that you told.
It was.
Somebody that I told.
No,
No,
somebody she
somebody
told.
she
One of her
told.
friends said that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not somebody that you told.
my friends couldn't have told you that though. Don't nobody know about this. Nobody.
Brother, I didn't have details.
Don't
That's
nobody
all.
know
That's
about
all.
this,
That's
man.
all I heard. That's all I knew.
We got. I mean, we
What
got.
happened at the house?
We had sex.
Yeah.
Then what? How did she die?
They don't know. They don't, man.
You don't know.
Act like that.
Explain.
You said she never made it to the bricks.
So she died before you went down there.
I ain't say that.
Then when did she die?
When she died.
Yeah.
Don't do this to yourself, and don't do it to her family.
Do what to myself?
You gotta tell a story. You know?
Can't hold it in.
Yeah,
Holding it in is what got us here.
I wanted you to be able to rise above it. It's easier to say that you don't know how she died. I said it's easier for you to say that you don't know how she died, but I mean, you know how she died. You're trying to figure out exactly what happened. Right before she passed. What caused you to do that? I can't see where you'd have any anger towards her. Just rage over Miss Dawkins. Like you said, maybe fear that Miss Thompson would call the police. Miss Thompson, she's never been mean to you before, has she? Not like Miss Dawkins.
This smoke free in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Where my money at?
With all your property, probably in the bag out there. Did she
Why
suffer
they left
it?
all this shit in my pocket then?
You know, I don't know.
I don't know what they left in your pockets or why. None of that matters.
What time it is, man?
4 till 9, 10 till 9.
being charged with.
You're not gonna tell us if she suffered
Suffer what?
when she died?
Instead of answering, Gibson wants to know what he'll be charged with, as if he doesn't already know.
You said she didn't make it to the bricks. You said you couldn't let her leave.
You told us all this of what led to this. And I know it hurts.
You said what?
You told us that you couldn't let her leave.
I said I couldn't let her leave.
You said you didn't want her to leave. You couldn't let her leave because she
That's
called the
different
police. You told us that she never made it down to the bricks, but you were down there in her car. You dished your cell phone over on Nina Hills. What you got against, I think it's your cousin or whoever it is that lives there, I don't know why you dished it there. I have no idea.
I don't got nothing against them boys, and I really wanted them to know that. I ain't throw no damn phone back there to set them up.
I'll tell them.
Fuck.
I'll tell them, because that's probably what they're thinking. Well, I know
Yeah,
that's
that's what they're thinking. I seen it on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah, they thought you were setting them up.
No.
but I'll tell them.
What'd you throw it back there for?
Be better if you told them, but I'll tell them.
I said, what'd you throw it back there for then, instead of somewhere else? You know what I mean?
No. I actually did throw it somewhere else, but the motherfucker didn't fly. Yeah. So when I stopped at a destination, I just tossed the motherfucker.
Yeah.
I went over there, let them know that. I went over there to get a gun. That's
Miss
what
Dawkins.
That's what I came to the crib for.
Did you find one when you went in?
Hell no. If I would have found one, I'd be dead right now. I wish I would have found one.
I'm glad you didn't, man.
I ain't at all.
You was the last person there with Elisa when she died. And we're gonna have to answer to them kids and mama and everybody if she suffered.
I even know what the last person was.
Who was the last person with her then?
We're not trying to pin a charge on you associated with her death. We're already at that point. Honestly, it's like when I told you when I first came in, we don't have to talk to you.
Okay.
You know, but I'm glad that we did, because there's a whole lot more to this. It's not just somebody that's evil or angry or just out to hurt her just to hurt her. You know, everything that you went through with both your baby mamas and Miss Dawkins especially, not seeing your kids. Dude, I told you that. I mean, you came out, you're not drinking, you're not smoking, you're working 2 jobs. You know, it would have been a lot easier to go back to that lifestyle. It would have kept Miss Dawkins happy. But you didn't do that. You were trying to do what was right, even though it was harder to do what was right. I mean, everything about that says you're a good dude. It just got pushed too far by the circumstances. By not being able to see your kids, being head over heels for Miss Dawkins, willing to look the other way as long as she come back and do right. And then to have her do what she did at the daycare to you, and to call you up and rub your nose in it, and tell you that she's going to basically send you back to prison. She's going to get you violated. I mean, I don't have to suppose
that it sent you into a rage and pissed you off. You already said that. You said I was more than pissed. I'm trying to find out how that anger for Miss Dawkins got taken out on Alyssa.
The motive for Gibson targeting Thompson instead of the girlfriend he was angry with is still unclear.
I mean, you went to where she worked. You took her from there even though she didn't want to go. You're telling me the sex was consensual at your house. For the sake of argument, I'm going to believe you.
Y'all could tell forced entry on a female, can't you?
I'm not a sex crimes investigator. I got to be honest, I have no idea.
I don't see a lot of cases, and I'm pretty sure they can. They'll know it's consensual.
So, and like I said, I'm going to take your word. I'm not even going to debate you on that. I'm not even trying to go there. I asked one time because somebody else is going to ask me. The family's going to ask. Somebody's going to ask. And you answered, I'm going to take you at your word. But you told us you couldn't let her leave. You told us that she didn't make it down to the bricks when you went down there to see Miss Dawkins. She's dead.
Who dead?
Miss Thompson is dead. And she died when she was with you. I'm trying to figure out how and why. What you were going through in that rage that you had for your baby's mama got taken out on Elisa Thompson. And you can't hold that in forever. You're not hard enough because I don't care if you were out in the streets before. You're a decent human being. You are. Just everything got the best of you. Even if it was just for a split second, it got the best of you. And I'm telling you, it sucks. This is where we're at. We can't change it. But where you go from here is completely up to you. You can live forever in the depths of despair. You can let this make you hard and pretend like you don't care that somebody's life was taken. Or you can admit to yourself and to that family what you did. And you can promise that you are going to live each day as a better man and that you're going to help others along the way. And that is up to you. And I want you to make the best out of a bad situation. And I want you to rise above it. I honestly do. I've got no malice towards you at all. No anger towards you. None. I don't get a bonus because you're arrested. I don't get a promotion. I don't get an award. I just want to be able to give answers to the families. Everybody here that's been working on this does. I want to be able to give an answer to the family. And we want to see you make something out of this that's good and positive.
How long y'all been following me?
How long have we been following you? All day. When you say following you, what do you mean?
You mean looking for you?
Looking for you, and investigating you? All day.
Since the Facebook video.
Actually, slightly before the Facebook
before
video.
that.
I'm not sure exactly what time that was posted, but we knew who you were. We're gathering evidence before we became aware that the video was on Facebook, and I wish the video had not been on Facebook.
When she started, when people started looking for her,
For her, when she didn't clock back in after work. I mean, sorry, after lunch.
they called the police.
Yeah,
They did.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there were people out in the parking lot that saw this. She did not come back to work.
She didn't pick up her kids.
She did pick up her kids from school after work.
The detectives go over information that Gibson already knows, but he feigns ignorance.
You know, they called her family. I said, why is there nobody here to pick up the kids? Where's she at?
They called the police before they called her family.
Her family called, the school
Family.
called, the family.
Or the school called the family.
Then
Yeah.
the family called the police too.
Did the job call the police though?
No, not then.
When she ain't come back to work, the job ain't called the police?
No, it would be just like, you know, maybe if you didn't show up for your shift or something like that. You know, based on, you know, what people saw in the parking lot, should the police have been called? Yeah. Yeah, they should have. And I see you shaking your head. You agree with me. Police should have been called, right? And if the police had been called in, maybe this wouldn't happen, you know? Would you agree with me?
Maybe it's the police.
You know, if they called right then and there,
The police
and the police showed up and stopped y'all when y'all were going down Mayhem.
went terrible. Press charges on me.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure she gave them my address. She told them where I stayed at.
I think so.
Why didn't they come to the house?
I don't know. I can't answer that question. I didn't work that case. I don't know anything about it.
Those questions need to be answered.
They do. And they will be. But before we get in the weeds for all these little big questions, I mean, the big elephant in the room is still Elisa.
Those big questions.
You know, why does she have to
Because
die?
if police, if they did their job before, instead of waiting till things happen to do a job, a lot of things won't happen.
Does she still be alive, you think?
I don't know about her, man. I'm talking about other stuff. Anything in general.
Yeah.
Anything. There's a lot of cases probably people don't call beforehand that things happen. I'm ready to go lay down, man.
I would tend to agree with you on that.
Huh?
Said I would tend to agree with you on that. That if we could intervene in every situation, we could probably keep a lot of bad things from happening. I still don't know why, for whatever reason, you killed Elisa. Yes, sir. I do.
It's real clear. Everybody knows.
You haven't said that you didn't kill Elisa. And I don't think that you will say that. Because you're not a liar. You don't want to say things that hurt.
It's gonna hurt to say.
Is it gonna hurt to say I ain't killed him?
It ain't gonna hurt.
What happened? That's what I said.
So, I'm being charged with murder. That's what you're saying?
That's what it's looking like. I mean, we're trying to figure out exactly what happened. Was this an accident? Was it pre-planned, premeditated? Was
trying to give you the benefit of the doubt on that one, based on everything you told us about relationships in the past and stuff you're going through. But part of trying to make that determination is trying to figure out exactly what happened in the instant.
Gibson is able to face the possibility of being charged with murder, but he cannot even look at the detectives when asked why he killed Thompson.
Whether it's something you thought about doing and did, or whether it was something spontaneous that happened, whether it was an accident, whether it was a fight that got out of hand. But you're not helping us out with that at all. You're not helping yourself, you're not helping the family.
What happened after you had sex, Reginald?
And I want to get you that cigarette before you do.
No, you don't. Just say that's smoke-free for sitting, man.
In here, smoke free.
Right. So we ain't finna give you no cigarette.
We got a spot
Boys
outside.
would've
We got a spot outside that's not smoke free.
You ain't finna take me out there.
You don't think so? I can assure you that we will. I can also assure you I got a box of Newports on my desk.
Yeah, you got my box of Newports out my pocket.
Nope, not yours.
They definitely got the Newports out my pocket.
He got his own pack too.
Give me a cigarette first, then. Okay, then.
You'll tell us what happened after you had sex, after we give you a cigarette.
Yup.
I think we can do that.
He's gonna make me get up and walk all the way down there. Ain't he?
Yeah.
All right, sit tight.
Oh, you want your notebook?
No, sleep in
Run the two over. So we both do this at the same time.
No. You can do it one at a time. Who wants two?
Two? Can I ask you a question? If it turns out they're not Newports and they're actually Winston's, you'll be mad?
Give me a thought.
I think so.
I got Newports in my property.
Do you?
Yeah.
Let's smoke it. Well, Reg, you had your cigarettes. Talk to us, buddy. A deal's a deal.
Okay, you said you have enough evidence on me charging me with murder. Right?
Yeah.
Why ain't charged yet? Y'all want me to tell y'all I killed her so y'all can charge me with that?
No.
No, you're not charged yet because you ain't out to the jail. You just got to do the paperwork on it.
No. The reason we're still talking to you is all the reasons that we've already said. Honestly, I mean, we need to figure out why. That's part of our job.
We need to figure out exactly how and exactly where. We need to bring that closure for the family. You know, them kids are going to be older and asking questions one day. Her family's asking questions now. They're hurting.
It ain't right to just say, when somebody gets killed, well, just the person that killed them, put them in jail, we're done with it.
Yeah.
That ain't real life. That ain't human life.
And you're not... I'm trying to say this because I don't mean it in a bad way. I understand it's a hard situation. But you're not exactly making yourself look remorseful. You know what I mean? So, in a way, I mean, it really is for you too. So, and if you can't believe all that, then just believe that.
If anything, Gibson is uneasy rather than remorseful, and his own personal comfort is put ahead of the fact that he has taken a woman's life. In front of a jury, that attitude could earn him the maximum sentence. I wanted to remind you once again, my new merch shop is up. StrangerLabel.com is full of relatable designs like the Unstable and the Mentally Checked Out t-shirts, as well as other cool items like the All-Seeing Beanie and the Stranger Socks. Every purchase helps support this channel, and you can even write me a short message on the purchase page. I'll be reading every single message that comes with any order, big or small. So head to StrangerLabel.com and get whatever you want. And with that said, let's get back into the case.
We did make a deal, and no matter how shitty the cigarettes were, a deal's a deal.
Oh man, this is crazy.
I know. Just walk us through it. We're not pushing it. Just walk us through it. No, we won't ask you again.
I think I might need a lawyer for that part right now, man. That shit crazy right now. I don't know what to say. That's crazy. I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
Okay. Reggie, are you saying that you want a lawyer before you talk to us anymore?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to push it, brother. I told you. I told you that, you know, we were doing this for the family and honestly for you. So, I'm going to tell you this, even though I'm not going to ask you any more questions, okay? I'm not trying to elicit anything from you at all, okay? Even though I know you're not going to talk to me, that you don't want to talk to me anymore, okay? Even though I know that you're not going to tell me exactly what happened and why it happened, which is the big thing. You know, I still hope that you will decide that you're not going to let this completely crush you, all right? And I hope that you will, you know, make something good of your life. I do. Yeah.
Even though I'm not getting anything from you in that regard right now, I hope that you do that. All right, brother? Okay. All right. Do you have any questions for me?
What good can possibly come from this?
Everything that I talked about. I know it seems like no good can come from it, but, you know, a few hours ago you were praying that the police would kill you because of what you've done. You wanted your life to end, you know? Trying to get them to shoot you. And we're telling you that no good comes of that, because that's where your story stops, is right there.
I've seen on TV of me, well, I'd say about 30 cases of people getting shot doing the shit I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was definitely praying.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted that to happen.
I know.
This definitely ain't goddamn.
I told you when I heard it on the radio, brother, I thought that's what was going to happen. You know? But that's where your story would have ended. Right there.